I was in my third year of teaching and loving it because I absolutely love kids. I was doing what I dreamt to do. And then I look over and one of my students is not finishing their work. But it didn't just happen that day. It happened most days. And I couldn't figure out why. Why weren't they doing the work? Why weren't they able to tell me why they couldn't do the work? And it frustrated me because I wanted to help them and I didn't know how. And nothing they were sharing with me was helping me get to the reason of why they were doing what they were doing so that I could help them. And I was exhausting every tool and trick in the toolbox that I knew. And still, it wasn't working. Then one day we're about to go out to recess and I turn around and the kid is hiding in the tall cubbies where the coats were. And nothing had happened right before that I saw or noticed that would have led him to act this way. And I couldn't get him out. He wouldn't come to recess with me. I didn't know what to do. I felt at such a loss. I had to call for administrative help and they came, they were with him, but I never ended up finding out why they did what they did. And it always bothered me. I wanted to know why so that I could really help the kids because I wanted to help. And when I felt like I couldn't help them, it was so frustrating. It felt so difficult. And I just felt at a loss. I felt like I was inept as a teacher. I felt like I was a failure. And then a couple years later, I learned an approach of how to talk to a kid when they're experiencing their most difficult moments. Or maybe you get the dreaded call from school. And what do you say to your kid in that moment? And I learned to use a question that starts with, what's up with that? After you, in a non-judgmental tone, talk to your kid about what they did, you ask the question, what's up with that? And you leave this impregnable pause. And there were a couple other steps that we followed through with that I learned over time to practice. And now I can get to the root of why a kid is doing what they're doing. It is so empowering and it keeps the connection because there's empathy involved. It doesn't break the relationship. There's still a consequence, but the child learns how to problem solve, or I know a skill that they need to learn to help them learn from this and use that teachable moment for them to grow from that moment. Parents who have worked with me have found that these steps really do help. I've learned it, I've practiced it for a decade, and now parents just like you are learning these tools, tricks, and tips, and I have scripts for you. If any of this resonates with you, I invite you to have a conversation with me. I believe behind every challenging behavior, there usually is a closet genius. Can you imagine if your most challenging child is a closet genius that just hasn't been recognized or identified yet? Let's cultivate your genius together.